Hey guys, it is Jessi. It is September, so you know what that means, that the August wrap-up needs to hit my channel, and today I'm bringing just that for you. So I'm going to do little mini reviews of each of these, and if you want a more in-depth kind of thought on all of that, I will leave a link below to my Goodreads where I will have full reviews of everything. Again, I am slightly behind on them, so I am playing catch-up this weekend, so hopefully they will all be there by the time you check. But if they're not, just bear with me and I will have them up soon. And I'm just really excited to kind of share my final thoughts, even though I've been sharing a little bit along the way on the weekly reads of these. But again, I'm just going to share a little bit of mini review and just kind of show you everything that I read over this month. I thought it was a fantastic reading month and I was just really happy with everything. So I'm going to share the first three things. These are all collections of poetry that I read. I will start with Notes to Self by Stacey Morris. This was sent to me by Stacey, so thank you so much, Stacey, for sending this my way. And this one I really enjoyed. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I liked the fact that it was heavier and it had a lot of darkness to it, and yet there were little parts of hopefulness as well. And I really look forward to more collections from Stacey in the future. The one thing that I enjoyed, like I said, was the darkness, and a lot of that is just because I feel like in today's society, everybody thinks that everyone has this picture-perfect life because we can curate what we put out there. However, it is totally not how it happens. So I feel like this collection really helps kind of make you feel like you are not alone, that it's okay to have some darkness, it's okay to feel anxious or depressed, and just finding someone to connect with and talk to, and I just think this is so amazing. I love the illustrations, I love the handwritten poems, and I just think overall this was just so good. And I highly recommend it if you guys are looking for a quick little poetry collection to kind of pick up. Again, it is very small and there are some that I find so powerful. And then moving on, there is Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel 1 and 2. And I need to pick up the third one because I really enjoyed these first two. If you can tell by the little tabbies here, there was quite a bit in here that I really enjoyed. I wasn't like totally over the moon and in love with them, but I really did enjoy it. So both of these volumes also got 4 stars, and like I said, I'm just really looking forward to picking up the third one and just kind of continuing on because there is a lot in here where it deals with some breakups and some sadness and like being alone, and then there again is parts where falling back in love and just telling somebody how much they mean to you and all of this. And so those are the ones that definitely tend to speak a little bit more to me. So those are the ones that I tended to tab a little bit more, or ones that just spoke about women kind of standing up for themselves, figuring out that you don't need a man to be happy or to be powerful and successful, like, so just different and like empowerment things for women in here as well, which I thought was super interesting, and I just, again, really like these, so I highly recommend these as well. Then moving on, there was a book that I have actually raved about a couple times on my book accounts as well as on here, and I just think it is so fun and so neat and different, and I loved the concept. It is called Act. This is actually an adult book in like picture child books kind of format, and I just absolutely adored it. I thought the illustrations were so sweet and charming and funny and really adorable actually, and then the overall way it was written allows them to get their point across, which actually is pretty amazing in such a short span of time, and really, you know, like one sentence at a time kind of deal. So this is based around that little negative voice in your head and finding ways to change that and to kind of like rewire your brain into turning that negative voice off and making it more positive so that you can live a happier life. And so I just absolutely loved this. I will be reading this time and time again. I will definitely be recommending it to friends and family, and I will also probably be gifting this because I just think if someone's having a bad day, if they are in a rut, if they're just having a hard time, this book is going to be a nice little pick-me-up. So yes, 5 stars for this one. Then moving into the books that I read over the month, and I'm probably going to save my favorite for last. And I will just go ahead and start with A Debt of Fear by Michael Reed Jr. So Michael sent this to me, so thank you so much, Michael. And I really enjoyed this read. Again, this is another one that I've talked about a few times here on this channel. This is a military read that is definitely relevant to today, dealing with the war in Afghanistan and Iraq and terrorism and just different things like that. And I think what is so cool is that this is not like a nonfiction, but I almost feel like it feels like one, and I think that this fictional read was so well researched and developed and like put together, and I just really enjoyed it. I liked the mystery of things, I liked the characters, and I just look forward to more, which there is a sequel to this, so lucky me, and it does appear in my September TBR, so watch out for that video. It releases on September 22nd, and I gave this one 4 stars. Moving right along, I won from a giveaway The Doll Funeral by Kate Hammer. I have not read her first book, which is The Girl in the Red Coat, and I heard really good things about it, so I was excited to pick this one up. And even though this one almost feels like a really grim kind of fairy tale, and our main character half the time leaves you feeling like you don't know if it's reality or you're living in her fantasy, because I feel like she was dealing with some very heavy things with abuse and neglect, and I feel like it was her way of escaping by telling these kind of fairy tales. And so I liked that concept, that it played like with your mind a little bit and you didn't really know. She also had this friend that was a shadow, and so I felt like that was an interesting twist. Like, wasn't sure how they met, how they came to be. Like, he was also very dark, so you get the 3 perspectives. So you get our main character Ruby, you get her shadow, and then you get her biological mother, which I wasn't a super big fan of the mother. So my biggest complaint overall is I felt like this was a little bit slow moving. While it had me like interested because I wanted to know what would happen, obviously there was these dark kind of things and these twists that kind of played out. But at the end, I just wasn't given this totally solid conclusion. I wasn't really happy with where it kind of went. It was a little bit slow in places, and so I just felt like the only thing that really kept me like excited about this was the darkness in it. And so I just, again, fell a little bit short for me. I still think it's enjoyable and it was a good read, and I definitely think this is going to be for someone else out there and they will absolutely love it, but I ended up giving this one 3 stars. All right, moving along, we have A Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips, which this was my book of the month choice, and I was so glad that I did. Immediately when I read about this, I just fell in love with the concept or the idea that the whole book and the whole storyline took place over a 3-hour like time frame. And so we basically have this mother and her son who, right before closing at the zoo, find out that there is a mass shooting and people are coming into the zoo, and so they run and they hide. And so I feel like this whole thing was full of suspense and it had a lot of mystery, and it just kept you, wanting to continue to read. I definitely read it very quickly. My only thing is there were certain points in this book that I felt like the mother's choices weren't totally 100% like realistic, or I didn't understand why she did a certain thing. And then I also feel like at a point too, a couple times actually, where I felt like they were just sitting for so long and nothing was really happening, that I felt like it lost a little bit of that momentum. So I wish it would have like hit the ground and been so intense it just blew me away the entire like 3-hour period. But I feel like there were, again, some up and down. So still really good and really entertaining. I really enjoyed it. Definitely can't wait for more from Jen. But again, 4 stars, really good. Loves it. Would definitely recommend it. And I have enjoyed buddy reading this with my friend Holly and a couple others as well, and I am behind on the discussion for it, but I can't wait to jump in and see what everyone else kind of says. There was one major question that doesn't really, it's not a huge part in the book, but ever since it was like mentioned, it's in my mind and I need the answer. So I just want to know if everybody else is the same way. So if you've read this, definitely send me a message on Bookstagram or something, or comment below. So there may be spoilers, but I want to know if you guys felt the same way and if you like the ending or not. So yeah, this was a good one. Then there was Gather the Daughters by Jenny Melamed, and I won this from a Little Brown giveaway. I got to read this with my friend Sadie, so I was so thrilled. And this book, like, holy moly, was so disturbing. There were so many things in this, and just when I thought it could not get worse, it totally did. It did. So I was just blown away the entire time. This is about a cult that basically, it's from the perspective of these little girls, and so I thought that was so interesting. You got 4 or 5 different little girls' perspectives on how this cult runs, the things that happen, the things that are like culturally accepted in there. And again, so there is a touchy subject between like the fathers and the daughters. However, it's like touched upon and it's like mentioned and like like hinted at. I really can't find the word that I'm looking for, but basically it's hinted at. But there are no gruesome details. There's no like anything that's over the top, because I definitely would have had to put it down because I was already disturbed enough. And then again, there's some abuse and just the way that these girls have to go through certain things, you know, and just, you guys, just read it and then let's talk about it, because it is seriously a twisted and messed up novel that I really enjoyed. And I gave this 4 stars, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. The only reason this did not get a 5-star is because towards the end, there's something that happens, and I wanted it to happen. I was excited it was happening, but then it just leaves you, and I wanted so much more. So I guess on one hand, it leaves it open for, you know, a sequel if that were to be possible. But I also feel like I just wanted a little bit more. Like, there's just so much more that I think could have happened. You wouldn't have had to drag it on forever, just a little bit, and I just really wanted just a little bit more, and I didn't get it. So that was kind of the main reason that I didn't give it 5 stars, but again, totally loved this and would, again, recommend it. Alright, so I'm sure you guys have been dying to see what my favorite read of the month was. Besides Ack, it's the only other 5-star that I gave out, and I'm just so excited. I absolutely loved it. I had a whole giveaway themed around it because I loved it so much. Had a custom candle made and everything, which is amazing. So I'll leave a link below to the shop where you can get some awesome candles. She is new. Her name is Natalie. So welcome to the whole like bookish world, Natalie. And her product is amazing. The experience with her shop has been incredible. Like, everything from the customer service that I've dealt with her, getting the custom candle made, to the fact that she kept me super updated with what was happening on the order, to the time I got it, to the unboxing of it and how professional and incredible the wrapping is of it, and then actually getting the candle in my hands, burning it, smelling it, having that whole experience. It is a wood wick that is square, which I have never encountered, and it's awesome. It's a wick, it's a soy candle, which, I mean, everything about this was just so amazing, and I'm obsessed with her shop. So like I said, it'll be linked below if you guys want one, and you definitely should, because it is amazing. Even when the candle is not burning, like, I can still smell it throughout the house. I am so obsessed with it. Like, literally, you guys, like, I'm freaking out about them, and I'm going to be Natalie's, like, biggest advocate, because I just totally believe in her and her shop and the passion she has for it and the product that she creates. So definitely check that out. But the book is Castle of Water by Dane Huckelbridge, and I am so glad and thankful, Dane, that you reached out and sent me this copy, because, like, I just love this book so much, so much. And I had no idea that I was going to love it this much. I thought it sounded good, and it blew all expectations. It just, like, made me so obsessed, and I adored it, and cannot wait to reread it. So I want to just live in this world forever. So what basically happens is we have 2 main characters, Barry and Sophie, who are on this plane. They are not together at the time. Sophie is actually with her, like, newly wedded, like, husband, and they are going on this little honeymoon, and Barry just so happens to be there, and it's kind of weird that Sophie and Barry have this weird kind of coincidence thing that they're both on the hunt for, like, this kind of artist kind of thing, and you'll totally understand when you start to read it. Anyways, their plane goes down in a storm, and they end up stranded together on this little tiny island. So they have to rely on each other to basically survive, and the things that they have to go through, and the things that they experience together, the way that they grow and their relationship evolves. And I just loved it so much. Like, I literally just want to sit here and hug this book forever, and I want to reread it, and I never wanted it to end. However, it totally did. And it's beautiful, you guys. The way it is written is absolutely incredible, and the story is even more amazing. So I really hope that you guys will pick this up. This was a 5-star read. Cannot recommend this enough. If you only pick up one out of this whole thing, please make it this one. Please make it this one. And then come talk to me about it. Alright, you guys, so that is everything I read during the month of August. Like I mentioned, everything I was really happy with. I didn't really hate anything. I did not enjoy it. I actually really enjoyed everything. And obviously my favorite is Castle of Water, and it was really cool to kind of be at the front end of that and read it and love it, and then start seeing more and more people get it, read it, love it. And so now the whole, like, Bookstagram world seems to just be talking about Castle of Water, which makes me so excited. So If you can only pick up one out of this whole stack, please let it be that one. Like I said, it's absolutely amazing, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And I would also like to know what your favorite read during August was, so comment below and let me know. All right, you guys, so all of the links, you kind of know the drill, but all the links for these books will be linked below. You can click over to Amazon, read the synopsis, you can purchase it straight from Amazon. Yeah, and all that good stuff is below. If you guys don't follow me on Bookstagram, link below. I'm also adding Goodreads, so if you want a little bit further in-depth stuff, that's all there. So yeah, lots of good stuff is down below. And I would just like to chat with you guys a little bit more. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support. We are getting so close to 1,000, which just makes me so happy. And I never thought that that would happen. So I just really, truly appreciate and love all of you guys. So thank you guys so much. I don't really have any dead set plans on videos coming up other than the TBR, which should be following this video shortly, besides my weekly reads. So if you guys have any other ideas, or you guys just like the way things are going, because I feel like it's been a pretty good kind of transition to where I do those weekly kind of reads and touch base with everything that I'm reading, what I want to read, all that good stuff, versus trying to do so many different individual reviews. I feel like this is just seem to work out so much better for not only myself, but for all my followers and readers and friends. And so I just would love to know your guys' thoughts, or if there's something missing that you guys want to see. So yeah, just definitely let me know. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.